Another day of big volume for COSM. Let's go ahead and validate what could happen for the following sessions. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again on this Hump Day Wednesday. This is ARCa coming at you with a COSM technicals and raw price action thread of analysis. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community in Discord called ARCa Bulls. And also, guys, one more thing. Don't fall for those comments in the comments below, you know, for here on YouTube, the text me and the WhatsApp me and there's a helpline and none of that stuff, guys. That's not me. Okay, so just know that there are a bunch of thieves and stuff, and they want to take your money, and they're trying to use me as whatever source or bridge to get that done. Don't fall for that, okay? Anyway, with that said, let's dive into the charts. All right, so COSM on the daily chart here, and this is the chart that we were looking at yesterday for the zones that we were looking for potential upsides. Okay, so you can see that the first zone was absolutely met per yesterday's analysis. And with let's see, a top side of about $7.36, very good stuff. And also you can see that on the daily candle, we used yet again the 12-hour tiny gap right down here as that form of a bounce before a continuation to the upside. Let's just go ahead and validate that. So 12-hour chart here, you can see this is the gap from December 23rd to about December 22nd. Was it 7th or 2nd? Yeah, 7th. And now going back into the daily chart, you can actually see how well we used it on both yesterday and today's session. Okay, very good stuff. We're printing a little bit of an indecision candle right here, but nonetheless, the important thing here in raw price action is that we're forming a series of higher lows and higher highs. Okay, so this is already a bullish statement from COSM. Let's go ahead and continue our validations for a continuation to the upside. Okay, so regarding volatility versus momentum, so this is volatility represented by this indicator BBWP, and this is momentum. Okay, so the criteria was any time that we have reached that critical volatility zone of 90% or within the 90 percentile and started that contraction phase towards the downside, we actually have taken we've taken metrics so that we can gauge an upside target, right? So based on the back test upon volatility versus momentum, without explaining too deep into this, we noticed that we could move 100.378% move to the upside, of which 138.51 have happened since the firing of that signal. Okay, very interesting things here, and also a very good example for those of you who have a lot of questions regarding the upside threshold or the upside thrust. Okay, these are just statistical metrics. They are there for us to evaluate the potentials within the price action upon meeting a certain criteria or a certain condition before that upside or downside. Okay, so very good things right here is that if you can see very carefully the volatility component, which is this spectrum line that turns yellow into red, you can see that it's now starting to turn into a very, very, very mild yellow. Okay, so this is now implying that we are building volatility yet again, and it's increasing. Okay, just like we spoke yesterday, what we want to do is actually essentially reach volatility to that volatility, to that critical volatility zone, and then we can actually continue that upside thrust. Okay, so I mean momentum, which by the way I've back tested in several tickers, and it has given me an awesome hit rate of about 75 to 91%, and guessing the asset's direction is still pivoted towards the upside on the daily chart. Very interesting stuff. Okay, so let's go ahead and now move on to the next chart. This is the ARC-DBSI. Okay, so this is a Crypstex indicator, of which I am promoting so that you can get your hands on. Okay, I would rather you get your discretionary side and your charting skills down tight first within yourself before making your life easier with any of these, with these indicator packages. But nonetheless, let me just go ahead and show you what it does. This is a statistical indicator that actually takes a metric of every single candle printed throughout the entire trading history of the asset's particular time frame. Okay, so in this case, it's taking a metric from the 4-hour chart. Okay, so the important thing here is that we did get a buy signal with this blue dot right down here at about the opening of this candle, which was $3.19. Okay, so when we hover over it, you can see that that value. And we have not printed anything bearish thus far. Okay, so very good thing here is that upon taking that metric of every single candle, we get a display of strength, and that strength is valued with percentage. Okay, so this percentage here is showing that the bulls are still nonetheless in the lead, 55% over the bears at 45%, and still above the 13-day exponential moving average, which is critical and essential to the DBSI indicator to know whether the upside is more probable or not. Okay, so let's go ahead and now move on to the next chart, and this is going to be the RSI and the last part of the analysis. Okay, you guys, so let's just go ahead and make sure that we can look at the first screen so that we can see if we've printed anything interesting on the 12-hour chart. Okay, so we are noticing here that the enhanced MACD, the ARC enhanced MACD, which is this one right over here, is still in an expansion phase. I hate that I can't actually bring the indicator. There we go. I hate that I can't actually bring the indicator lower sometimes. I don't understand how that happens, but yes. So what we're looking at here is the expansion phase starting yet again from just like we did from the last run, right? Just like this, it contracted very tight. It had very tight iterations, and then it started opening up and expanding, and we got that upside move, right? So as you can see here, we had that huge contraction phase, very, very tight here, and then the volatility expanded. Okay, so Bollinger Bands are another way of being able to tell how volatility is coming into the asset. Okay, so this is the enhanced MACD that is paired with not only bull and bear signals, but also with momentum in, typical to a MACD, and volatility. So volatility versus momentum within one indicator. Okay, so this has suggested the upside upon the opening of the 12-hour candle, which was, let's see, $3.11 right up here. You can tell. Okay, we'll hover right over that area, and you can see 311 was the flashing of that bull signal, and it has continued to the upside since. Okay, we are noticing that there is a tiny little pivot here on the enhanced MACD, which is very much in correlation to what we saw earlier with the price action showing some type of indecision. Okay, so now, but please, indecision is relevant here because we're still nonetheless in the green and absolutely several percentages up from the close of the previous day, which was at about $6.18. We are at aftermarket $6.63 right now. Okay, very impressive price action from COSM. Let's go ahead and finish off this analysis with the rest of momentum, which is the RSI. Okay, so yes, let's go ahead and maximize this and start just like we always do on the 30-minute immediate short-term time frame. Okay, you can see that the 30-minute is suggesting immediate upside. Okay, very good stuff here. It is not in danger of following any downside right now. Other than the fact that we have the 14-day simple moving average above us, okay, which is always kind of a battle for us to get through it. But remember, it's a 30-minute, and this is likely to live out really fast. Okay, so the buy hourly is showing us slightly bullish, okay, but now the more reason that it is bullish is the fact that we are in the gravitational zone of the bull strength percentile, pivoted slightly to the upside alongside the 14-day simple moving average acting as that support. So this is very important and suggesting an upside continuation nonetheless. Okay, so this is the 8-hour chart now at that border between the bull strength percentile and the overbought percentile, suggesting an upside continuation. The pivot has slowed down just a little bit, but nonetheless we are in that gravitational zone and bound to cross into the overbought, and now the 14-day 14-day simple is absolutely below us and definitely with an upside pivot. Okay, so now the daily time frame is suggesting upside as well. And just like we saw, just a little bit of weakness of the bulls, it's okay. In this point, the most important thing here is on the daily RSI, right, is that we have crossed that gravitational zone and we are still suggesting that upside continuation alongside the 14-day simple. Okay, now the 3-day is suggesting an upside. Please know that we have officially crossed the 14-day simple moving average and now we're suggesting a continuation to the upside. I understand that the pivot actually got flashed just a little bit with some downside activity that we had today, but nonetheless we're in that gravitational zone as well, yet again like the other ones, and facing some upside here as well. Okay, now the 5-day is also crossing now. Let's see the position. It is just outside of the gravitational zone, which is very good. And we have used that 14-day simple moving average as that bounce and that leverage for us to be able to continue on to the upside. And it's still suggesting as such. Okay. If we're going to look at the weekly still has massive upside to go. No danger of going down since it is outside of that gravitational zone. Bi-weekly still suggesting that upside. Even the monthly is suggesting some upside. Okay, so there is still some room to go for the upside for COSM. I understand that the technical metrics may be a little limited at this point, but nonetheless everything is still pointing towards that upside. Okay, know that I'm not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, but with this type of price action, you guys, I have to say and be very transparent that I am considering opening up position. I think maybe getting long this stock somewhere around this 12-hour gap range, around the 615 to 630 area. If we do get any type of retracement, which may not be likely, but it's okay. If it doesn't meet that criteria, then I won't open up that position. But I am thinking of getting long this stock no matter what. Okay, you guys. So this is looking very good. And if we continue that upside trajectory, then the next upside target with low volume would actually, or lower than normal volume, right? I'm saying it's still very high volume, but lower than higher than these. Higher than these iterations, but lower than the ones that we faced. This candle here had a 72.3 million in volume. This one had 13 million. This one here had 31.9 million. And this one here from today has had 24.4 million. Okay, so with a lower volume than the previous iterations, then we could potentially touch that 1.618 at $8.36. With that FOMO and psychological component applied, we can look at a higher target, and it would essentially reach that target that I've been talking about for about 15-16 days now, and it is that $11.02 that just so happens to be sitting very comfortably between the 2.272 at 1042 and a 2.618 golden mean at 1151 from the Fibonacci retracement. Okay, this again, you guys, take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy or sell any assets whatsoever. Okay, you guys, do your own due diligence and everything will be just fine. Please refer to the links below if you want to go ahead and reach out to me via DM on Twitter or Discord if you would like to acquire the indicator packages. We'll go over the subscriptions for the ARC-Series indicators. Okay, you guys, another thing you should notice is that you should have a TradingView account first before you consider getting the indicators, as they are written in TradingView's native language, PineScript. Okay, but with that said, I wish you well, a very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.